Shannon, welcome.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, season 19.
I know.
You have been doing this for 10 seasons now?
11. This will be my 11th.
11. Okay, tell me what this journey has been like for you.
Well, I mean, I thought I was starting so late in the game at season 9, but I mean, it's been a journey, and I'm grateful for it. I mean, there's not many people that can say they've had an adventure like I have, and there've been ups and downs, but in the end, the ups outweigh. So
I love that. But is it interesting to see just kind of from where you started to like where it is now and see your life documented like that?
Absolutely. I mean, I was just thinking about the fact that my twins were 9 years old when we started, and they just turned 21. So it's like everyone's been able to see my kids grow up, and hopefully me growing up finally at 61.
Yes. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about all your other adventures as well. But I do want to talk about season 19. I mean, what's the drama? What's the sitch? What are we doing?
You know what? First of all, I had a kind of a rough-ish year last year, which was from my own doing, but it could only get better from last year. So I really have some fun and silly times, which I'm excited about because that's when I have fun. But the drama, it is nonstop this season, but it comes from nowhere. Like I call it unique drama. It's stuff that you go, what? That's happening, but it happens.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the trips that you guys are on to. Amsterdam, New Orleans.
Yes.
What kind of fun trouble do you guys get into?
Okay, well, Amsterdam is known for certain legal things that I don't partake in, and I might have. So that was kind of silly. They have stores where it's legal. You buy baked goods with marijuana in it. So yeah, I might have.
So we're gonna see you try some of that.
Yeah, and yes, and I don't know, is it called a medicinal mushroom? I took a little bite.
Ooh. So what you're saying is Amsterdam gets really fun.
Right, and like silly, you know, a lot of laughing. New Orleans was very fun, very fun. I'd never been before, but it ended in drama, so which is typical. But this was kind of over the top.
So who do we see you interact with most this season? Like who, whether it's on a good note, bad note, whatever.
Well, I think it was very nice for me because in the past few years, I will start the season not really having very many close friends. But this year I came in really in a decent place with everyone. So that was nice. What I think is fun is that I get extremely close to Jen Pedrandti this season. And she is a kick in the pants. She is so funny. It's just, I look at her and we'll start laughing. So I'm glad that people will see those moments.
Okay. And she's actually planning her wedding.
Ish.
Ish.
Yes. There may be a Jen is still getting married party at some point.
Oh, okay.
You know, but I get it. She's got so many kids, and there's a lot to coordinate. So.
Yes. We also see some old faces return. Gretchen, for example. How does that all come about, and what can you tell us about that?
Well, I didn't know her very well. Of course, I've seen her around town, but she and Tamara weren't friends, so I just stayed away out of, loyalty. But I really have enjoyed getting to know her. I think she's a great addition. And what I love is that people are going to see her and Slade's relationship because there was so much criticism years ago, but they've been together 16 years and have a beautiful daughter, and they're very happy. We all wish to have 16-year relationships the way that they have. So. And she's a lot of fun.
Okay. You mentioned Tamara. Where do you guys stand now?
Well, you know what? I mean, she's working on herself, and I think that's great, and I wish her well in doing it. But as I work on myself, there is a part where I look back and see some non-healthy or toxic traits to our friendship. So while it's important, it was important to me to not create the tension that happened last year. A lot of the cast members said, we don't know what to do because you don't get along with these certain people. So it was important for me, to get to that place where we can coexist and, even laugh together. But that doesn't mean that we're, going to ever be as close as we were. And that's, and as harsh as that may sound on my end, I'm doing it because it's the healthiest thing for me.
So you're saying basically in order to protect your peace, it needs to stay where it is.
Yeah, for now. I mean, and it strides above where it was last year. So.
Yeah. You mentioned last year was a particularly difficult year for you. Was there any time that you thought maybe I won't return? Because I mean, you're a fan favorite, everybody loves you, but were you thinking, like, after, so many seasons, you've been doing this for 11 seasons now, has there been a point throughout those 10 seasons where you thought, maybe I won't come back?
Well, at the end of last season, I was burnt out, and I was kind of at an emotional low. But at the same time, when I started the season, I didn't know if I'd be able to get out of it because so many negative things had happened to me. And then you couple that with the lawsuit and Tamara, my relationship with her. But I was able to get through it. And so for me, that kind of showed me that I have the strength to keep going. So I'm actually proud of how last season turned out, and I'm continuing to work on myself. And so I'm good. Like I say, it can't get any worse than it was last year.
Only up from here, right?
Yes.
Part of the storyline is Katie and whether she is or isn't spilling information to the blogs. What can you say about that?
Well, I will say that Katie does always have an explanation. I mean, she came in, I was a little bit surprised at her interview bite saying that we were closer. And yes, I did defend her to a point at the reunion, but we weren't very close. So I think that you'll see as the season goes on, the bloggers, that's just tiny in comparison.
Ooh, to what
to
unfolds.
Other things. Yeah, keep tuning in because it's just one thing after another. And I might be involved in one or two of them.
Ooh, the season is shaping up to be one for the books. But you also did Love Hotel.
I did.
Earl, tell me what happened, where it stands, and what ultimately made you guys part ways.
It was perfect timing for me to go on the show because it had been a year and since my DUI, and I hadn't dated anyone. So I went on thinking I'm just going to have fun. I'm not going to meet anyone. And I ended up meeting someone, and he was different than anyone I'd ever dated. He continually called himself a simple man. And I would say, I'm a not so simple gal. But I kept thinking, is that maybe what I need? So I really tried. And there were so many red flags, but I kept trying. And especially, like, if I'm a viewer, I want it to work out. So, we visited each other, and in the end, it didn't. And I haven't dated anyone since, because I'm not going to lie. Like, it was kind of hard to put myself out there and make myself vulnerable and have it not work. And as I watch back, it's like, Shannon, like,
you see the red flags,
right? And I wish that maybe I would have given someone else a shot, but no one wanted to step on Earl's toes. But I will say, Giselle, Ashley, and Luann, it's a little sorority bond because we were the first people doing the show. We were together for basically a month, all day, all night, and so we had so much fun together. But then the men as well, I keep in touch with most of them, and I see a lot of them often. So
anyone that you're willing to circle the block for, that maybe you didn't give them a chance.
You know what? I think it's better that I just stay friends with all of them. It's too much drama. There's a little bit of what's his name drama still going on, and I just I don't want things to be negative.
Yeah. Did it though change your perspective about putting yourself back out there?
It did, and I'm not going to lie, in kind of a negative way. Right, because I did make myself vulnerable. I mean, I can't even tell you, I did not imagine, and especially, I don't know, just Earl is different than anyone I've ever dated before, but I did care for him, and so it's hard to have something not work out. So I'm happy where I am now, the fact that I can say I'm happy being by myself, and if I want the partner, but if I just continue living like this and see my daughters and visit them, then I'm good.
Yeah, definitely. You recently had a little bit of a run-in with the police about the phone incident. What happened with that?
Well, I was coming from an interview confessional. I was at a red light, and my phone buzzed, and I got a new puppy. So I looked, I saw it was a political text, and I put the phone down when I was at the red light. The no-touch law hadn't come into effect yet, but he said I was texting. So,
where does that stand? Do you pay a fine or?
Yeah, I paid a fine. It wasn't a moving violation. It wasn't like a DUI or anything like that, but everyone's gonna, I guess, find out. I was gonna try and fight it, but then I thought, no, I didn't want to bring light to it, but somebody else did. So
does that put you on edge because you're still on probation, or was that just a one and done incident?
Well, I mean, like I say, I was gonna fight it because the law wasn't into effect, but you know what? I am a careful person. I made a horrible choice the night that I got into the car and drove, and I think about it every day to this day, and I'm so grateful I didn't hurt anyone because I wouldn't be in a more blessed and happy state if that were the case. But I didn't even think about it. It's not a moving violation, and he told me that. So, you know, I know now, don't even check a text when you're at a red light. No touch.
Lastly, just what would you call this chapter? It seems like you've been doing a lot of inner work. It seems like you're happy with the place that you're in now. What would you call this chapter?
Gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna say the productive era, because I say this in the first episode. I made some manifestations for myself in 2025, and men was not on the list. So I typically have formed my schedules and my life around relationships, and I don't have that right now. So I've had dreams over the years of things that I want to potentially accomplish, so I'm going to focus on that. So it's the productive era.
Yeah, I love that. I love that for you. We cannot wait for season 19 and also just to see the progression and everything that is unfolded.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Shannon.
Thank you.
Right.